these games. I don't wanna go, cause your love is what I want, babe. You know that I wanna stay this way forever.
So what's the question we're answering?
I guess my question to you would be, I've been listening to you for a while, and my question is, I'm 36, I'm divorced, no kids. I hear everything that you're saying as far as submission, men dating outside their race because certain women or certain groups of women, communities aren't being submissive, or, you know, I hear all of that. But I kind of fall in that category where I am educated, I have a business myself. I don't think that I am necessarily in a situation where I don't want to be married.
You're starting to lose me.
Sorry.
Can you shorten it down?
So question is, I'm doing everything that I hear you're saying. I agree with 95% of everything. Where I get lost in dating and being single. So what more can I do outside of being
at 36?
Yes.
I don't even know what do you want?
I want to be married. I want to have children.
So I'm letting you just talk. And instead of coming in and saying, hey, Kevin, I want to be married, you start telling me all things is wrong. I don't even know what you want. So why do you want to be married?
I want to be married because of everything that I've been hearing is I want to be a helpmeet. I've learned from my past marriage. I'm ready to be with somebody, support them, have a family.
You don't have any children?
I don't have any children.
When did you come to the conclusion you wanted to be a helpmeet?
This came after my first marriage, through the divorce, of learning what it really meant to be married.
What was the question I asked you?
The question was, when did I come to the conclusion that I wanted to be a helpmate?
And how about you just give me the most direct answer?
I'm sorry?
How about you just give me the most direct answer first?
When did I?
Yeah. How long ago did you come to this conclusion you wanted to be a helpmeet?
After going through my divorce.
Okay. You know when your divorce was over. I don't know you.
Right.
Why don't you just tell me 1 year, 3 years, 5 years ago?
Oh,
that's
okay.
what you would tell a complete stranger.
This was 4 years.
Okay. What I'm showing you is how you communicate with me as a man tells me you don't know how to communicate with men.
Okay.
Men are very straightforward. How long were you married?
5 years.
Who filed for divorce?
I did.
On what grounds?
We went through a lot.
On what grounds?
On what grounds?
You were the plaintiff in a dissolution.
For me personally?
Nope. No, ma'am. I just need the legal grounds you as the plaintiff filed the legal dissolution of marriage, not the story first. See, what I keep asking you is to be direct. You wouldn't file for divorce, right?
Yes, sir.
On the legal document, it asked reason for divorce. What is the reason?
Well, it was irreconcilable differences.
And see, what you could have just told me a minute ago is I filed the divorce on irreconcilable differences. But the reason is y'all want to get y'all story out so much. No, we don't need that yet. Irreconcilable differences. Did your husband want a divorce?
Yes, he did.
Was there any infidelity?
Yes, there was.
How much cheating did you do?
Not me. He never admitted to cheating, but there was evidence of it.
What do you mean?
Well, you're asking me not to tell the story, but
Well, I'm just saying you said evidence. I mean,
there was evidence, text messages, women showing up at the house.
was that part of the reason you filed for divorce?
Yes. And I did try. I stayed.
So I'm just understanding. He cheated, so you say, and that's cool. Okay.
Right.
But it's irreconcilable differences. So it wasn't adultery?
Yes, there was, but he didn't admit to it.
Okay. So you saw text messages.
Text messages, showing up at the house, sugar in his gas tank.
Okay.
Like those were
Cool.
all evidence.
All right. Sounds like something was going on. Okay. So how long you been divorced?
4 years.
And you were married for 5 years?
Yes, sir.
You gone through any therapy?
Yes.
Are you still in therapy or are you done?
I am.
I am.
So
I am what? I said, are you in therapy or are you done? I am. See, I want you to understand how crazy this sounds to me. I gave you are you still in therapy or are you done? I am. That could have been either one.
I'm sorry. Okay. I'm still in therapy. Right after the divorce, I went through therapy, then I stopped, and now currently about a month ago, I started again.
So you didn't complete therapy. You quit.
No, I completed it, but I started again this past month.
I thought you said you stopped.
I stopped after the divorce.
How long did you go? How long did you go?
For a year after the divorce.
Would you say you're ready to be remarried?
Yes, I would.
I don't know. If this conversation is any indication, it's kind of it's difficult to just kind of.
The reason why I started therapy again last month was because I started dating. I was in a relationship this past year, and that breakup, I decided that I needed therapy again. So
how long was this relationship?
That relationship was for 6 months.
Who ended that?
It was mutual.
It's not mutual. It's never mutual. Watch me long enough, you know better than that.
Okay.
Who ended it?
He did.
Why?
We have different lifestyles. He was a little bit older, and he wanted we just have different lifestyles. He wanted to move out to the country. I wanted to stay in the city.
Mm-hmm. And you didn't know that in the first month or so?
I think that we were both trying to accommodate one another and try to make it work.
What was the question I asked you?
Did I know that before? Yes, I did know.
Okay. And so I'm just telling you, ma'am, there are all kinds of signals here.
Right. But he also knew I wanted to be in the city as well.
Okay. Well, but the difference is you got the clock. He doesn't.
Right.
So, and I'm hearing you say you wanted to be a helpmeet. Were you a helpmeet to your first husband?
No. So things were very opposite for us. We were college sweethearts. So a lot of the things that I was doing, he kind of followed me.
So you were the man.
I was leading.
So he was emasculated.
I don't think that I emasculated him.
Did I say, see? What was the question I asked?
Oh, was he emasculated?
I said, so he was emasculated.
Yes, probably, yes.
Okay, so and the first thing you start going to do is defend yourself.
Right.
All I do is listen intently.
Mm-hmm.
And the signs are still, I don't think you're really, I think you want something that you're not ready for. Because, I mean, if you were married a man you were the husband, you were the leader and he was the follower, men like that typically do cheat. Because that's the only way they can really assert their manhood.
Right.
So it's not your. I
I'm
mean, so and then if you go to counseling and it stops or you quit or whatever, you start it again. After a relationship that ends, you're with a guy who was older than you, but you should know not to waste your time. So at the beginning, he was a country, you were a city. You shouldn't even got to 6 months. It should have been a month. If you were really a wife, you wouldn't have wasted 6 months.
I'm trying to do different. I'm trying to make
I get it. You're trying to make yourself be a wife. You're not.
okay.
Simply not. Sorry.
I mean, how do you change?
You
How
don't.
do you? Okay.
See, you would have to do like a man would do, and you have to marry down. You got a business, right?
Yes.
You make more than 6 figures?
Yes, sir.
Yep. So you got to get a lesser man.
Okay.
Beta.
What would a man have to do in your position? See,
Be down.
just like when you're first, like your husband,
Mm-hmm.
and you were the wife, but you were really the husband and he was the wife. And if
Okay.
if your husband was in your position, you was in his position, it would have worked fine. The power dynamic would have worked. You try to get with an older man because he's a little country, you're a little rock and roll, and you probably thought, well, maybe I could kind of make this work because you're still trying to fit that square peg in a round hole, because the guys who want what you want don't want a masculine woman. Or they don't want a woman who's a elite. I don't say masculine. They don't want a woman who's in a masculine energy.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're, I don't want to say you're masculine, but then you're masculine energy, and then that's what tends to happen when you're a business owner and you're a higher earner. But in our communication, it was not direct,
Okay.
like I would expect from somebody who's in a masculine. So I'm just like, it's all over the place.
Okay. I have a question. So culturally, I was taught that, my parents came from a different
Culturally,
country.
you were taught what?
I was taught, be successful,
Mhm.
earn money. Like,
Okay.
this is why my parents came to America,
Uh-huh.
and they were
And what culture is this?
my family's from Thailand.
Okay. Well, that's not culturally. That's your family. Because I can go find a YouTube channel where a man is talking about his Thai wife and everybody's in love. So I know plenty of Thai wives that aren't doing this. Your
Right.
family may do it.
Well, I will say this, being with this last boyfriend that I was with, he did teach me a lot of the things that I've learned through your channel. And I am working.
What if it? Okay, man. What if it is too late?
I'm sorry, what if it's too late?
Yeah. I gotta. You're a business person. Let's just do a hypothetical. What
What if,
if the business is beyond repair and it's going to falter? It's going to go bankrupt. It's going to fail.
Mhm.
What do you do?
What do I do?
Do you hope against hope and continue to invest and continue to do whatever?
Well, I probably going to be alone, or I'm going to have to settle.
Well, yeah. I asked you the business question, but then the business question, you know the answer, so that's
Right.
where you're at, ma'am.
If
Thai women, you're not that's your family, and I'm not. That's not the culture. It's your family, and maybe there's some people like that. You can find some come over here and earn, but ma'am, why can't you get a man who's making more than you so you can be in your feminine to him?
right.
Like, let's go back this. Let's go back here. How long you been in this country?
I was born here
All right. Where'd you go to college?
in Los Angeles.
Okay. Why didn't you get married at 23? Before you started making 100,000, why didn't you get married when you were young?
I was married at 27.
Okay. And 27, but your husband was how old?
He was 29 at the time.
But he was lesser than you. He was lesser than you.
We
He was
both
a lesser earner than you.
yes, we went into the business together. But
Okay. You were college sweethearts? You were college sweethearts?
yes, sir.
Okay. but you were the leader.
Mm-hmm.
He was lesser than you.
Yes.
All right. Why does that make sense? I mean, you even in your younger years, you decided when you were starting out, you got with a guy lesser because did you date anybody else in college?
No.
Did other guys want to date you?
I wouldn't know if because I was with one man for 16 years.
Okay. Well,
And other men.
I'm curious as to you knew the dynamic between you as you were leading, he was following. Why was it okay to marry that?
So at that time, I didn't have the right people in my life and the tools and resources to tell me, hey, these are red flags of this may not be the
You
right
were a
man.
woman, he's a man. You know that
Right.
didn't feel right.
Yes.
Why'd you do it?
Out of comfort, out of,
Because you could be in control.
I'm sorry.
Because you could be in control.
I don't think it was that, Kevin. I think it was just it was the right thing to do because we were together for so long.
Well,
We were college sweethearts, and it was, when we told our families we were going to get married, they were
yeah, but see, the thing is, I'm not so much on the college sweetheart. I'm on the fact that you got with a beta before
Right.
money was even on the table.
Right.
So he must allow and women don't tend to do that unless they like being in a power controlling position.
Mm-hmm.
Femininity repulses beta. Betas are repulsive to feminine women.
Mm-hmm.
He let
So, okay.
ma'am, you were in control.
Right.
Are the women in your family dominant?
No, my mother is not. She stayed at home and she raised us. And
What about the other women in your family?
I'm sorry.
The other women in your family?
It's just my mother.
You don't have
And
aunts?
I have aunts. They were all stay at home, raised their families. I'm first generation here. So
Okay,
they
you have any siblings?
I have an older sister.
Is she married?
No, she's not.
But you grew up in LA?
I grew up in California, but moved to LA when I was 17.
Oh, well, I would say that, that college environment, that feminism thing tends to attach pretty early. At the end of the day, ma'am, the natural fit would be a man who's above you, but a man who's above you, why would he do it? Because the femininity component, guys don't tend to want 6-figure women and all this stuff. And now it's like you want to be, what, do you want to quit your business and be a stay-at-home wife now?
I am more than happy to be at home. My perspective on marriage.
Okay. How tall are you?
How tall am I? 5'2".
Dress size?
4.
How much did you weigh last time you weighed yourself?
145.
But here's the issue, man.
Mm-hmm.
You worked all your life to be successful.
Right.
Do you have any student loan debt?
No, I don't.
Guys have a real hard time looking at women who worked all their life to be successful, and then all of a sudden you just give that up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, this is what a lot of women are starting to experience. Like, wait a minute. Because I'm sure there's a point in your life where you were proud that you were making a certain amount of money and defined you as a professional. But now it's almost like I'm hearing, I would love to give this up and just be a housewife.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's insulting to the women who chose to just be housewives and focus on becoming professional housewives.
Right.
While you were out being a professional, they were becoming professional housewives. Why do you get to take their husbands?
Okay.
They don't get to take your businesses.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
I'm just saying. And if you were a man looking for a housewife, would you go get a woman who has ran a business who married a beta? Or would you go get a woman who was raised to do the things that men really want?
Right.
Would you buy a sports car, or would you take a car that needs to be uh, tinkered on?
You're right. I understand what you're saying. I think that just in my experience, I've learned a lot, and there are things
So,
that
so,
I've want to
so,
change.
so, so, so. This is what I'm telling you. A lot of times, you ladies do this. Like, well, you know what? I learned so much now. I'm ready.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I get it. But the market gets to pick.
Right.
See, the men don't get to go to the market and say, "Well, I'm ready now. I'm better." It's like you got to be ready when it's time.
Hmm. Right. I understand everything that you're saying, and I see it. I experience it now that I'm
Well,
single.
and this
You know.
is why so many women are starting to like freak out, because you've been told, women have been told, the world is yours. You can have it all at any time, and you can't. And now women are starting to look back and say, "Well, wait a minute. I was told I could have it all," and then men aren't cooperating.
Hmm.
Because you got to ask yourself a question: what does the kind of man you would want from a woman, and is that who you are naturally?
Right.
Are you a naturally submissive, cooperative, agreeable, feminine woman?
I believe so.
Okay.
I
Then there's
do.
no way you could have married a beta.
There,
Absolutely not. You could
there's
not
no
have
way.
married a beta. There's no way you could have married a beta.
I did that. I mean, that was 10 years ago.
Okay. So are you not saying you were that 10 years ago?
I was in a different place then because I was in a situation where I had to.
See,
And
femininity doesn't do that.
okay.
The only thing femininity does that for is their children.
Okay.
See, I'm telling you that you're telling yourself that you're something you're not.
Okay.
And your results have shown that.
Um,
Feminine women don't. Have you ever seen a woman walk up to a door and stand and wait for someone to open it for her?
yes.
Uh huh.
Uh-huh.
How long have you seen somebody? How long have you just seen her stop and not move?
I have seen that.
Uh huh. Do you open the door?
If I'm by myself, yes.
No.
But if I'm with someone, then I wait.
What I'm saying is, ma'am, there are women who are just feminine, and
Hmm.
femininity moves a different way. Maybe you may not be argumentative and overly combative, but you stepped into a masculine provider leader role. That's not what femininity does.
How do I break that habit
You
if that's
don't. That's what you are. So I
okay?
said, I already said earlier, I think at 30, it's over. You start
Okay.
to settle. I said earlier, at what age is it too late for women in general? I said, I think about 30. I said, at 35, you should be on the 50% off rack. At
Hmm.
40, you should be on clearance.
Right.
At 50, you should be at the outlet. Or
Okay.
no, 40, it should be at the, yeah. 50 at the Salvation Army, something like that. And see, what you're doing is you're still trying to find a way to win. There has to be a way. There has to be a way.
Hmm.
Is there a way for the Bengals to win the Super Bowl?
No, because
Yeah,
the
it is.
Rams.
Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm. Next year.
Oh, next year, yes.
Yeah, but you don't have another life. The
Hmm.
game is over, and that's what I'm. This was the whole purpose of this show. Women need to start recognizing that some of the choices you're making, you don't always get a chance to do them over. Men can have multiple different lives. Women can't. Do you want children?
Yes, sir.
How
I
many?
do. Two.
And you're 36 already.
Yes.
You know the odds and all the things that go along with that. And I'm going to get into that this week too.
Mm.
How much are you prepared to invest into having children?
I mean, I want to have children. Like that's something that I
But can
wanted
you?
since I
Can you?
was.
Can you?
I believe so. Yes, I'm
No.
healthy.
There's no believe. There's you. That's going
And
to the. Look, trust me. I know plenty of going. Those tests are week-long tests
mm-hmm,
to get the full clean bill of health.
right.
Have you had that?
Yes.
All right.
Uh-huh.
And what age is the oldest your OBGYN suggests you getting pregnant?
38.
2 years. I know some
Mm-hmm.
women who are that's at 45, ma'am. So that means at this point, you gotta either, if you want to have kids, you
Do
should
it now.
already be married right now. Where's your ex-husband?
He is in California living with his parents.
Well,
Yeah, he's been there since we got divorced. So,
well. Unfortunately, ma'am, when ladies don't like when I say the clock starts to make decisions for you.
uh-huh.
So
I think that getting back with my ex-husband is an option, Kevin.
you do or don't?
I don't.
I didn't say to.
I'm sorry.
I didn't say to.
No, right. I
I'm
mean,
just
because
saying, but I'm just saying, I just think the clock starts to make decisions. And unfortunately, sometimes it just I mean, you have to have a husband that's on your level and pregnant in a year.
right. Uh, so I have a very raw question for you. I have been approached by different men who've told me, I see you as the mother of my child, and I see you as a future wife. And I don't care for the big wedding or anything like that.
What's the question?
I don't want that. My question is, should I do it? I mean,
I think you
they're
want to book. I think you want to book a session for that one.
okay.
You can afford it.
I'm sorry.
You can afford it. Book a session.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, you don't want to do this here.
Okay.
All right. Bye bye.
All right. Bye.
See,
Oh.
and no, go ahead. And see,
Oh no.
Go ahead. No, I was talking to the audience.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of times, ladies are not used to. Women are used to hearing that they can do it. It's like, well, life shuts doors for women before it shuts doors for men. Okay? I didn't make these rules. I didn't make them up. So, ladies, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I mean, she's not a combative woman. I mean, maybe you're an executive wife. I mean, you're I don't know, 5'2". Anybody looking for an executive wife? I'm quite sure she'd make you a good deal. Yep. We got to put you on sale, though, baby girl. Ty Quinn, 36-year-old, 5'2", 100, dress size 4, 145 pounds. Hello.
In this insightful conversation between Kevin Samuels and the 36-year-old caller, we have learned that professional success doesn't necessarily equate to personal fulfillment. The caller, despite her remarkable career, yearns for a traditional role as a stay-at-home wife. This discussion underscores the paradox many successful women face today, adopting traits traditionally seen as masculine to excel professionally, which ironically becomes a barrier in attracting the kind of man they desire. Contrary to the narrative of contemporary feminism, the caller's experience reflects that having it all may not always lead to happiness. This brings forth a key question: what is the true cost of success? As we conclude, we ponder upon these complexities, hoping this conversation has sparked introspection about love, success, and personal fulfillment. Navigating these challenges requires deep understanding and sometimes challenging societal norms. The journey towards genuine happiness is a personal one. Each step brings you closer to your unique relationship goals. Thank you for joining us in this exploration. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more engaging content like this. Don't forget to hit the bell icon for notifications on our latest videos. Drop your thoughts on this topic in the comments section below, and let's keep this enlightening conversation going.